I've been asked many times already in a DM, what are the reasons why you would ever cancel or have canceled a credit card? And so I put together 7 reasons why I have canceled credit cards in the past. And I want to share these with you because these are reasons why you may also want to cancel them as well. Now, with all that being said, this is not financial advice. It's for entertainment purposes only. Canceling a credit card can and usually does affect your credit score, and it can do so in a negative way for the short term, but also can help it out for the long term. So always weigh the risks. Make sure you're doing your due diligence and your research on why you want to cancel a credit card. But definitely want to share this video with you, so let's get right into it. And if you're not part of the private Facebook group, we have literally one of the best credit communities on Facebook. It's free to join. There's no self-promotion, no spam allowed. If I find that, people are instantly kicked out. It's a safe place for you to learn, grow, and learn how to leverage your credit. Even get some credit repair tips, tricks, hacks, all that good stuff. It's an amazing group. I learn every day something new in that group. So join. Link is in the description below. And then if you have a personal credit question, feel free to DM me on Instagram. I do messages every single week and get back to people. Follow me on Instagram. We'll be doing a lot of exclusive content in 2022, and you're not going to want to miss it. Do me a favor, before we get started, comment the cards that you've canceled and why you've canceled them. I'm going to be super interested to see what cards have been canceled and the reasons why you all cancel credit cards as well. Like I said, canceling a credit card can hurt your score, people. Okay, I do want you all to know that, but it can also help you get funding by having a better credit report. So there's pros and there's cons. You have to weigh that. It's what you don't know that could be hurting you. So hopefully this video gives you some insight. I'm going to try to keep this video under 10 minutes, and I'm going to give you the 7 reasons why I've canceled them. So let's get right into it. Number 1 would be obviously the annual fees, right? I'm going to start off there. It's very easy to quickly be paying thousands of dollars in annual fees when you have a lot of credit cards, or if you have some credit cards. If you're not utilizing the card and you're paying an annual fee, and like I say, if you're not utilizing the card, you may want to call them on the reconsideration line and say, hey, listen, I'm going to cancel the card if you don't reduce the limit. Sometimes they work with you, sometimes they don't. But there's been cards that I've canceled, like the Amex Platinum, for example, the vanilla version, right? When I first got the Amex Platinum, I used it for like a year and a half, and I just got tired of paying that annual fee, and I just wasn't utilizing it. I didn't know what I know now about credit, so I actually canceled the Amex Platinum because I didn't like the retention offer. And if I said reconsideration line, I meant retention offer, okay? So number 1 is annual fees. They can add up quick. Number 2 would be I want to clean up my credit report for funding, okay? So when I do that, and when I've done that in the past, I would try to remove every single card with a low limit that wouldn't give me a credit limit increase with a soft pull. I don't like to keep any credit limits under $10,000 on my credit report. When an underwriter looks at my report, I want them to see my minimum limit's a $10,000 limit. And then eventually I want them to see a $20,000 as my lowest limit. Okay, so that's just a personal preference that I like. I like it to be super clean when I go in for funding. I like to make sure that I have low inquiries, not many new accounts. I like to make sure that the low limits are off. The consumer finance accounts, I've had that in the past. I want to get rid of those and have gotten rid of those. What are those? Those are like the grains. Those are like the Upstart, Prosper, SoFi, things like that, peer-to-peer lending, fintechs, things like that. Banks like to see bank-issued products. They don't like to see a bunch of random credit builders that haven't been issued by banks, right? So any type of low limits, consumer finance accounts, secured accounts, you want to make sure that those aren't reporting to your credit report when you're going for funding. It's just going to help you look more upper echelon and get higher limits, and that can actually help you get higher limits. And if you do a reconsideration and just say, hey, I don't know why I didn't get approved for this, can we walk through this? My minimum limit is X, Y, and Z, and I've been at my job for this long. So that's the second reason. Number 3 would be I don't feel valued from the credit card company or from the bank, right? That's a personal conviction. I don't preach that to everybody else. I live by a moral code that says I'm only going to go where I'm celebrated, not where I'm tolerated, because that's where I believe favor comes from. So I'm not just going to be hanging out with credit card companies and banks that don't give me higher limits, or that treat me like crap on the phone, or that's just very difficult to deal with. Bank of the West, for example, was incredibly difficult to deal with. It'd take like 5 minutes to get to customer care. When I deal with customer care, it was just a horrible experience. They wouldn't raise my limit. said, adios, amigo, you're out of here. So Bank of the West, I don't recommend them to anybody. I hate them, actually. Okay, so I don't feel valued, I'm out. I try not to think emotionally with business decisions, but you do vote with your dollars, and there is ideology, and at the end of the day, you got to do what's best for you. So that's number 3. Number 4 would be low limits, and they never increase my limit. Okay, and an example of this would be the Citi Best Buy card. Another example would be the Venture One card with Capital One. Capital One never raised my limit. I was tired of it. Citi would never raise my limit. I was tired of it. Now Citi does soft pulls, and they do credit limit increases with soft pulls through the app, but they have to be Citi cards, not Citi co-branded cards. So with Citi Best Buy card, when I was first starting out, I had like a $1,500 limit. They wouldn't raise a limit without a hard pull. I didn't want to do that. I will never, ever, ever usually, I will say this, 90% of the time, I will never do a hard pull for a credit limit increase. I just won't. I'll just apply for a new card. So low limits, and they won't increase my limit. That's another one. And I only apply for cards that I know will do a soft pull inquiry. That's part of doing your research before you apply for a card. Hope this stuff is helping. If it's helping, comment, this was a great video, or this is really helping me out, or comment what you learned today in today's video. And remember, comment the cards that you've ever canceled and why you've canceled them. I can't wait to see those. Another one would be credit reallocation. Now, I did this when I was going for funding. I had a Barclays Aviator card with $10,000 with an annual fee on it, and I wasn't using it. And then I also had a Barclays Apple Rewards card at the time, and I had a $20,000 limit on the Apple Reward card, and then I had a $10,000 limit on the Barclays card, the Barclays Aviator card. And I just said, can we combine the limits where I have a $30,000 limit without having a hard pull? They said, yeah, no problem. So what they did is they moved the limit from the Aviator card to the Barclay Apple Rewards card. So now I went from $20,000 to $30,000, and they canceled the Barclay Aviator card for me. And then I had a $30,000 limit on my most aged account, which is super helpful, right? So there's times where I'll do credit reallocations and then cancel the card, so that way I stack my limits higher. So that's just a little gem for some of you all out there. Not every company does that. I've heard that Citi doesn't do that, but every company is different with that type of thing. I do think Bank of America does that, though. Just heads up for you B of A customers out there. Another one would be restrictions on limits. So here's the situation. I did a video of how I went to Amex jail. Okay, it's a pretty popular video on my channel. How I had preset spending limits, how I was bucketed, how they bucketed my business gold card and had a no preset spending limit to 4K. That may have happened to you. The blue business card, the same thing happened to that. So if they don't remove those type of buckets, then I'll usually cancel it and reapply for a new card. So restrictions on cards. And then the last reason is non-usage. Sometimes this is something that I don't actually cancel, but the card will cancel it. So if you don't utilize your card, the credit card companies can just cancel it. Yeah, obviously they'll email you or send you a mail, but if you don't get that and you haven't used your card, they can be canceled. Comenity is super popular with doing that. I had that happen to me with a Synchrony and Comenity card. I believe it was the Wayfair card and the Express card. And here's a caveat for you all too. Don't do the shopping cart trick. I don't care if you're brand new, and I'm going to do a video of why I hate the shopping cart trick. And I'm also going to do videos on the cards that I've canceled and how canceling a credit card can hurt your score. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. But the shopping cart trick, you don't want these garbage accounts. These store cards are not great. If you want 1 to 2, okay, fine. But they're really not great, people. Store cards are not great for your credit, and they actually hurt you more than they help you, right? They're cool for starting your limits, but make sure it's something that you're actually going to use, right? Like, I'm not going to go get a Victoria's Secret store card, you know? I'm just not. I'm not going to wear a thong. I mean, that's just not what I'm going to do. No shame to anybody that does, but for me and myself and I, not for me. But anyways, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know the cards that you've canceled. I love you guys so much. Join the private Facebook group, add me on Instagram, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Salute.